From time to time, people say to me, "What's happening with you and Brexit?" Actually, it's more in the real world than YouTube, but it does happen. So I thought I'd just mention something, save me repeating myself every so often. Okay, uh, first of all, to say I'm British, stroke English, whatever, and I live in Spain. We've got, let me have a look, I've had a 9 day, 10 days, 9 days until Brexit. People seem to be a bit panicky, so I thought, well, I'll just mention what's happening to me. Okay, um, what will happen to me as somebody in Spain? Now, I'm listed as a self-employed English teacher, although I haven't had a teaching job for a few years. I need something, so that's what I register as. It might change to YouTuber. I don't make money on either, but that's fine. That's simply so they can calculate social security and stuff like that. I've lived here for 13 years. Well, no, 12 and a half years. 12 and a half years, so long time. I am registered, but the register thing is just a piece of green paper to give me an NIE number, which is a bit like having the European identification card. It's a number because they need everywhere. In Spain, they have that number. Bank account, anything, social security, and that number goes on anything and everything. So I have one of those, and I'm on, I can't remember the list, something Padron. It's like a register. Your name's on the register, and you live at this address, and it's like an official thing, and I've been on that for about 10 years. That's all I have. So I don't have an official residency permit or anything like that. I have to get one. I have to get a I don't know what it's called. I can't remember. Residence permit or something like that. Just to say, yeah, I can continue to live in Spain. I have to say I've lived here for more than, I think it's 3 months, something like that. And also I have to be able to prove that I was living here and that I'd been here for a long time before Brexit, which is the end of January. It's 22nd here. So I can prove that quite easily. I'm on the Padron list, so that's my proof. And I'm fine with that, no trouble. I spoke to the British Embassy and I've looked on their website. Basically, I've got until, I think the end, try and get this right. If there is a deal, and I don't think there is one, but whatever. If there is a deal, I've got 2 years to get my residency permit. So lots of time, no problem, nice and relaxed. If there is no deal, I have 2 years. If there's a deal, I have about 1 year to get everything done. Now, I don't know how they figure that out, but that's what I've been told. So I got loads of time. I'm not going to have a problem anyway. My wife is Spanish. That said, we're common law husband and wife because we've been together for about 11 years. So that's our thing. We did have a kind of little ceremony, but it was a proper wedding ceremony. But it was in Gibraltar, and I don't think in Spain. I don't think it's recognised. I'm not sure. It's not recognised everywhere in the world anyway. So we're going to get married again in Spain and again in Britain, just to make sure we can get married 3 times. We figure that'll be enough. So that'll just help to seal everything. But that's about it. There's not much else. I'm perfectly okay. It's not going to change my tax. My social security will just continue. They don't want to know. The only problem I have had is that the Spanish authorities have no idea what's happening. The British Embassy knows, and they've told me. But if you go to like the British, the office where you get this residency permit, they don't know that you don't realise that you've got to have one, and you're supposed to have it before Brexit, really. But as long as you're on the what they call the Padron list, it's okay. You can hang on a bit, but it's supposed to get this thing, and you got to prove anyway. So it's a big queue, and they don't really know. They don't know what's going on. But there is kind of an agreement about what will happen, and nothing will change for quite a long time. I'm fine. The worst that could happen, I suppose, if I did have to leave this country, I'd have to go. I've got a house in England, so whatever. I sort it out. I suppose I'd have to take something with my medical history on it because of the medication I take, but that's all. So no big deal. I'm fine. Not panicking. That's my Brexit. Ask me questions if you like, but there's not really anything to tell you at the moment. If there is, I'll tell you. Let me just finish off, and I'll tell you my opinion. I was against Brexit. The reason I was against Brexit is purely that I live in Spain, and I thought it'd probably be easier to travel and things like that if we're part of the EU. That's all it was, and that was why I thought I don't want Brexit. Yeah, a very personal thing. I don't mean it's a bad thing for the UK. I don't know if it's good or bad. I'm on the line a bit now, but my opinions now. Well, come on, we got 10 days. It's gonna happen. Let's have a celebration. Let's have a big ceremony, get the Queen out of a cupboard and do all this stuff and dust off the crown and, ride her through London and do nice things and have a party because and think of it like, let's celebrate being British. I'm British and I'm proud of being British, and I could be Spanish if I chose to, but I want to be British, and I am very patriotic and more and stuff. But I live in Spain purely because I fell in love with somebody who's Spanish, and she lived here. She had a job here. I had a job there. My job, I didn't like it. She liked her job. It just came. Everything made sense to just come over and live here. So it was easier for me. That's all. Nothing to do with patriotism. We've been talking this morning. I kind of hope that the British economy doesn't do very well. It's going to help with when we change euros into pounds to spend in the UK with our house over there and all that sort of thing. It's much better if the euro is strong against the pound and we get a better exchange rate. So we're quite happy for Britain to suffer a bit. I'm kidding. Of course, we don't want them to suffer. But that's how the sort of the little thing that's going to affect me that I can think of. So all the best. Anybody that's still listening, well done. Thank you very much. Goodbye.